Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are talking about traveling. So I've gotten some questions regarding how was it traveling with the baby, and I've done it twice so far. I've traveled with all my kids, but I've traveled on a plane and I've traveled road trips. So today we're going to really zone in on traveling with our infants on a plane and honey alone. So I can only assume traveling with two parents and a baby would be much easier. But traveling alone with an infant is a whole nother story. So if you are looking for some tips and advice for traveling with a baby, you've come to the right place. So stay tuned. Jump right into the first question that really was in my head heavily when it came to traveling with Taylor, because I'm not a frequent flyer, so I had so many things in my mind like, can I bring this? Can I take this? What happens here? Where do I go here? So first things first. Children under the age of 2, in most cases, in most airlines, fly for free. Now, I do want to state that I'm going off of my experiences and the things that I've dealt with, and always, in any instance, if you're feeling still uncertain in your belly after you leave this video, be sure to contact your airline for further information. So, now that I've got that out of the way, car seats and strollers do fly for free. They are items that you can check at the front when you're doing your check bag and everything. You can very much so, by all means, give it to them and they will take it. Or you are able to actually take your child all the way to the gate through security, all the way to the point where they're saying boarding. You're now scanned your boarding pass. You're about to get onto the plane. That's where you are able to take the car seat all the way to that point. The car seat and the stroller can go all the way there. Now, I'm not sure, I haven't come across the airline that had too many regulations when it comes to types of strollers and car seats, but I've seen a ton of different car seats and strollers, from the double ones, the side ones, the long ones. I mean, so many. Taylor's car seat comes in 2 separate pieces. It's just a basic stroller, and then it's just the car seat, and it just connects onto each other, but you do have to unclip it, so they're 2 separate pieces. So that was one thing I was really concerned about when it came to traveling with her. If I'm taking it all the way to the gate, how are you gonna get my pieces back? Did it need to be in a bag? All that stuff. So I didn't have to put her car seat and stroller in a bag, but down below I'm going to leave you a link to some options of traveling bags for your car seats and strollers that I did wish I would have had time to get one, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, due to unfortunate circumstances, I had to drop everything and pretty much be gone within the next few days. So I didn't have time to be shopping around and trying to get a car seat stroller bag, but you're more than welcome to look at the link down below, grab one of those bags. You can stick your car seat and your stroller in it just for extra protection. Now that we have established that your car seat and your stroller can go all the way to the gate for free, and they do accommodate that, let's talk about packing. So now you're getting ready to pack and you're like, what should I pack? What things can go? What things cannot go? You know your baby well, you know your baby better than anybody else. So pack any and everything at this point in your diaper bag that is going to make your baby comfortable. So whether that's a blankie, a stuffed animal, a passy, whatever it is, a certain kind of toy, whatever your baby, I don't know, my baby likes the remote. If I know I need to pack Taylor the remote, let me take the batteries out and pack this girl this remote, because at this time right now, you need to pack any and everything that's going to keep your baby comfortable, because you have no idea what's ahead of you, okay? I'm here to try to give you tips and advice on the things that I went through while traveling, but let's be real, parents. You never know what can come about when it comes to traveling. I also want to stress to you guys, pack some wipes. Pack sanitizer, sanitize and wipes. I took a little baggie and I put some Lysol or Clorox wipes in that bag and stuck it in the diaper bag. So once I got on the plane, you want to wipe your area. I'm telling you, there's so many germs, viruses, and things like that going around. You don't know what the next person had, the person next to you who was coughing and touching. You don't even want to begin to know what the wipes look like after I wiped down me and Taylor's area. So bring wipes to sanitize the area that you are going to be sitting in, whether it's in the airport, waiting around, or whether it's on the plane. It's just yucky in the airport. Next thing, outside of all those items that you're going to pack for your baby, pack snacks. And mommies and daddies, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, do not forget to pack yourself a snack. That is the one thing that I felt like I failed a little bit on. I was so strong on packing all these little Cheeto Puffs for Taylor. Granted, I could have ate them, but so much was rushing through my head. There were so many things going on. I didn't take the time to really sit there and take a little snack for myself, so I ended up with a headache. Pack yourself some snacks, so in the time of all the unexpected delays and cancellations, you have something in your belly, because there's nothing worse over here with me than being hangry. Pack yourself a snack. Next thing I want to suggest, pack some Tylenol, Advil, ibuprofen, whatever it is, honey. You need to pack it, because this is again where I failed. I save money, honey. I have tons of that stuff in my cabinet. But did I pack it? No. So when I got to the airport, I ended up spending $10. I mean, literally it was like $10.80, I believe, on a drink and a little thing of some Tylenol, because at this point I had been through it all. I had cried, I had been frustrated, I'd been on the phone, I hadn't ate, and the list goes on. At this point, I now need something to drink and something for my headache. So do not forget to pack something in case a headache comes along. And you never know, if you get motion sickness, any of those type of things, pack your medications for whatever you need. But if you're not on any major medication, still pack something for a headache, because I'm telling you, you never know what will come. So next, let's talk about getting through security with your little one. So just a quick story time for when I was in line. I get to the airport, and security, leaving Texas, security was so crazy. I thought I got there in enough time, and at one point security actually said, I need half of you guys to go to the other side of security, because if you're on this side, you're more than likely not going to make your flight. So just be sure to get there in enough time, because I really thought being there 2.5 hours early was okay. And then the line was so crazy on one side, they literally sent half of the line to the other side of security and asked us just to make our way back to, that side of the departuring flight. I did not check a bag, because it was just more to go through checking the bag, and I wanted to have my carry-on with me, seeing as I needed to make this process quicker. And you got to look for your luggage, and then you got to look, if you check your stroller, you got to look for the stroller, and you're just hoping nothing got lost, because God forbid the stroller get lost when you're checking it, or the car seat get lost, and now you're stuck at the airport with the baby and no car seat. So that was another reason, going back to the stroller and car seat, why I decided not to check it, but it is an item you can check. I had all this stuff. I had the diaper bag. I had my personal bag, which was like my purse. And I had my carry-on bag, and then I had a car seat and stroller, and I had Taylor. Oof. That's a lot. So going through TSA was a little hectic, because you have to take all these pieces apart. You have to take the stroller apart from the car seat. The car seat has to go onto the conveyor belt, but my stroller piece was too big to go through. So I ended up they ended up just strolling it through, because it would not fit. They check it for anything. They check the wheels. They kind of go through it to make sure it's okay. But you do have to put your car seat onto the conveyor belt. Then you have to put your phone, your laptop, the diaper bag. You have to take your shoes off. You have to do all that. And imagine parents doing that with just yourself. This is probably the one piece that I hated, absolutely hated, when it came to traveling alone with Taylor. It was just so rough at one point to try to do all these things by myself. And then it's like these strangers around you. But luckily, there are people around you that do offer help. And it's like, you start looking like, I don't really know you like that. Like, do I want your help? So I'm here just to say, go with your gut instinct. If someone's offering to help, and you genuinely think, it's nice, it's okay, like, let them help you. But it is a struggle to do it by yourself. Imagine me holding Taylor, trying to take my stroller. I have to physically take a hand and unclip the stroller while holding this piece. And Taylor's like under my arm, like right here. So it's kind of like, it's like a whole motion. I mean, it's a whole ordeal. So that's a lot within itself. And if you packed light, this part might be easier for you, because say you packed your baby as a carrier. Like my aunt did suggest, why don't you put Taylor on your chest? I have the whole baby wrap and everything. I absolutely love it. To this day, I still use it on and off for Taylor. But she's at that stage of walking that I felt like, is she going to sit in her stroller long enough? Is she going to sit right here comfortably? Am I going to be comfortable? So mommies and daddies, do what's best, or grandmas and grandpas, aunties and uncles, do what's best for you. If you feel like you're going through security in the airport, holding the baby in the carrier will be easier than the stroller because you don't have to take it apart, feel free to forget the stroller. Either check it or whatever you want to do. Check it at the front and carry the baby. So when you're going through security, you have those two hands to maneuver things. By all means, do that. But for me, I didn't want to carry Taylor that way. I just felt like I want my car seat stroller set to stroll. You can try to pack on the lighter side. It might help you maneuver through the airport a little easier because remember, it's just you and your little one. You only have two hands and you have a baby that can really do nothing else. Okay. So getting through security, that was a little hectic, getting everything on the belt, taking my shoes off. Then instead of going through the machine, they have you walk off to the side, or they had me and Taylor walk off to the side under the separate one. We walked through, and then now I got to get all my stuff back. So now it's me, Taylor, putting the stroller and the car seat back together, putting all our bags back under my purse, her diaper bag. It is a lot, so I would say maybe pack a little lighter if you can, but I felt like I packed as light as I could. Maybe I could have left a few other things and downsides, but definitely pack as light as you can. Now, because I breastfed Taylor, I didn't take any milk with me. I didn't take any pumped milk. I literally packed me. Okay, when Taylor got hungry, Taylor ate. I didn't do the whole milk. I didn't even pack my pump. But I did read up that milk and juice for infants are considered an exception to the TSA 311 rule, okay? So I will leave that link down below so you could further read up on some information. But you don't even have to be with your child to pack breast milk and your pump. Those are things like you could be on vacation, you could be on a business trip, you can still pack your milk and your pump. I just didn't because I also heard that they had to, like, some people would tell me they would check it, and I don't feel too comfortable with you checking my breast milk because it's already one of those things that you pump and you put it in the bag and it should be, very not messed with at that point. So that was just a preference for me. I knew I wouldn't be drinking or needing any bottles or doing any of that things, but you have to know your baby. So if you feel like, I'm going to need a bottle, I might need to pump, I'm going to need milk, definitely you are allowed to bring pumped milk through. But just like I said, I'm going to leave the link down below so you can read up more on TSA's rules when it comes to the breast milk and juice, but there are exceptions to bringing it. I just didn't bring it. So now that you have made it through security with your little one and you've gotten everything back together and the stroller's back and everything's packed up and you are now headed to your gate to see your departure and get all ready for your plane ride, a couple of things I do suggest are get something to eat. If at this point you do anything, I would suggest try to just put a little bit of something on your stomach. Feed baby, change baby, use the restroom. Do not, at any point, I do not get coffee. If you're anything like me, just as clumsy, and it's only one of you, don't get coffee. The only exception to grabbing some coffee, I would say, is if baby is sleeping. Because a little story time, I decided to get some coffee. And I'm like, okay, so this is on our way back home, by the way. So I get to the airport, I'm early, I've returned the rental card, like all these things. And I want to grab a cup of coffee at the airport. And Taylor's fussing while I'm in line. And now I have to get Taylor out. And everybody in this little shop in Orlando's airport is looking at me because my baby's over here just crying. I get her out and I've already made my order of coffee. They give me my coffee. So now I have a baby. Wait a minute, just stay with me. I have a baby, okay, on my hip. I got the stroller because my baby won't sit her behind in the stroller. The baby on the hip, the stroller. I have the, I can't even think about it. My carry-on bag. The diaper bag and my personal bag, which was my purse, was inside the stroller. But it was chaotic holding all of this, Taylor, and the coffee. I could have dealt if Taylor was sleeping and holding the coffee, but it didn't work because Taylor wasn't having it at that time. So I would never go back and get coffee if Taylor wasn't asleep, because at this point I have coffee literally spilling. I'm looking like a mom of a hot mess over here. And even though a gentleman offered to try to help, it was like I'm at that awkward stage of I don't know if I really want anybody's help. Let me tell you, just take the people's help. At this point, maybe just take it. But when it came to coffee, I really was like, I don't need nobody to make my coffee. And I'm really funny acting about somebody acting like they want to hold my baby. That's a story. That's a whole nother story. So don't get coffee. And at this point, I would say while you're waiting for your flight, try to I tried to keep Taylor up. I felt like at this point, I know the flight time, I know when we're leaving. So I wanted to try to keep Taylor up because I felt like if I could get Taylor sleep on the plane, easy breezy, and we can both take a nap and we can get off refreshed, right? Okay. So on our way going to Florida, that wasn't the case. So at this point, moms, dads, aunties, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, be prepared for the unknown and the unexpected. On the way to Florida, I had 2 delayed flights, and in the end, that flight was canceled. So I have been at this airport for hours. My baby has gone through every emotion of crying, frustrated, hungry, it just a lot of it. And to then get to a canceled flight, I was like, mommy had it at that point. And this is one of those flights that I had to still make it where I was going due to the circumstances. So all the emotions are running through my head, and you have to keep it together as a parent because you have your baby with you. So just expect the unknown when it comes to traveling alone, because it is you and things are going to come about.
Please proceed immediately to gate A24.
So we're about to leave.
Once again, this is a general boarding announcement for Jessica.
Taylor on her first flight.
Scott Wilson.
You're gonna do good? You're gonna do good? Look at your hair. It's been a rough morning, okay? Moms that breastfeed, even if you don't breastfeed or pump, this is still a really great place for you guys. So when I was coming back from Orlando, I actually found a nursing pod. I'm gonna leave my Instagram down below so you guys can actually check out a picture and a video of me inside the nursing pod. It is absolutely amazing. It was that one time of peace after days of traveling, okay? So you get to the airport, you're already tired, and you're either waiting for your flight, you've had canceled flights, delayed flights, whatever your circumstances are, and now baby's ready to eat. I fed Taylor on the floor at one point. There was no seating around me. This is at the point where my first flight was delayed twice and then canceled. The most relaxing time I had in the whole entire airport. So at this point, it's not a restroom, but it's just a little area where you can actually sit there, feed your baby, change your baby, charge your phone, eat your snack. I mean, hell, you can change, excuse my language, you can change your clothes in there. You go in there and you put a little code in, and the code is on there. It's a little piece of paper. It's a little like thing next to it, and you just put that code in, and if no one's in there, it opens up. You go in there, you lock the door. So it'll tell someone out there if it's, if someone's already using it. And I was able to peacefully sit there and get my phone charged, change Taylor, sit there and feed her. I sat there and talked to her dad on the phone and quiet. It was literally the most quiet time I've had. Now for me, after about 35-40 minutes, which was a long time, I didn't want to take advantage of maybe other moms needing to use it. I wasn't sure. I didn't hear anyone try to come in. That's the funny thing. But I still felt like, okay, so now let's go. We're getting closer to time to leave. Let's go. Mommy's going to go use the restroom. Get us all ready to get in line to go. But if you are able to find one of those pods in your airport, take advantage of them. It was the most peaceful time I had in the chaotic of everyone else around you and your baby trying to nurse and then trying to peek out and pull your shirt and all those things. So definitely go check out that picture and that video of me and Taylor in the I think the Mama V. I think that's what it's called, or Mamva. But it's super cute, super relaxing, and I was really grateful for to come across one of those. So someone is up from their nap. Can you say hi? No, you don't want to say hi? Can you say hi? Can you give kisses? Kisses? You give mommy kisses? Mwah, you're so sweet. Oh my God, you're so sweet. Okay, guys. So a couple of other things that I did want to include in this video when it comes to boarding the plane is, if you are familiar with flying, you know that there is even if you're familiar with flying without little ones, there's like a priority boarding and there's like the first zones. They also have family boarding. So you get to kind of board up there with the first zones. I did take advantage of the first zone of the family boarding, but I did find it pretty difficult. I thought to myself, oh, I want to get on the plane, get situated, get settled in before everyone else gets on the plane. So that's why I'm like in line, ready. I had kind of already disconnected the car seat piece from the stroller and set it into the basket piece of the stroller. And I was holding Taylor, pushing that with one hand, holding my carry-on with the other, because you got to remember, I did bring all this with me. So again, if you can pack light, I suggested, or if you want to carry your baby on your front, that I've definitely seen tons of women doing that. But I just felt like I really wanted to take my stroller and car seat with me. So I don't regret it to this day, but do what's best for you, what you feel like you'll be more comfortable with. All right, guys. Now I have to actually hold all these pieces. I have to hold the diaper bag. I have to hold my personal bag, which was my purse. And I had to hold the carry-on bag and Taylor. So that part was a little frustrating maneuvering through to get on the plane with, because the diaper bag is free. My personal item is free. My carry-on is going to go above the bin. So I was like, let me get settled on the plane prior to everyone else getting on here. And then you get on the plane and now you're trying to hold a baby, get your luggage onto the overhead bin. And it's just a lot at once. Thankfully, again, there were some really nice people around me. The flight attendant actually on my way in one of my flights, because I definitely had I had to leave Houston, land in Miami, go to Orlando. It was my flights got delayed, canceled. At this point, I'm on a another flight, a whole nother booked flight. But I had to go into a whole nother city, so I had to actually get off a plane, get back off a plane, on. It was just a lot. So all those things, come on, I want to come back up here? We're all kind of a lot by myself, but thankfully there were people around to help say, oh ma'am, hey, want me to put this in the overhead bin for you? Or you can be, I'm sorry, sir, would you mind helping me? I tried setting Taylor down, but it was really rough because I felt like I hadn't even wiped the seat, and I didn't want to set her down. So those are other things just to take into consideration when you are alone. There are a ton of things that come into play. Now, another option is to board last. So maybe not even get on the plane as soon as I did. Because now my thought process is I'm trying to get her settled. Let me get her settled in on the plane so, she's good to go by the time we're about to take off. But there's another option to maybe say, what if I would have stayed off the plane, boarded kind of last, and play with her as much as I could, run her tired, and she's not on the plane as fussy as long. But every scenario, every situation is completely different. Oh, I forgot, bring a pacifier clip if your baby does take a pacifier. Those things are going to hit the floor constantly if you do not bring a clip. For some reason, Taylor hates clips, so every time I clipped it to her, she tried to yank it off. Another thing, once you are officially boarded and you're on the plane and you guys are getting ready for takeoff, there are other things that come into play. So either A, pat, your baby wants to eat. Now you are in that, depending on if you've picked your seats, if you haven't picked your seats, where you're sitting. If you can pick your seat, I suggest picking your seat. Unfortunately, with all the last minute cancellations and things with my flights, I was not able to pick the seats. So I ended up on another flight in the middle of two people. Oh my goodness. I was literally in all three. I was by the window, in the middle, on the end. I will say that on the end, I think someone's getting hungry. I will say that in the end, being on the end was probably the best seating arrangement for me. I felt like I had a little more elbow room this way versus when I was by the window, Taylor was throwing things down the side. It was just a lot going on. And I felt like I was able to nurse her with her head towards the aisle, because the only aisle stuff that was really going on is when the cart is going up and down the aisle, versus when either way your baby's going to be in some odd situation if you're flying alone, because either her head's going to be next to somebody's elbow or her feet are going to be kicking. So it just kind of try to get her in the best position that you can. I just really felt like at least the end I had more room to maneuver myself one way. So if I'm nursing her with her head this way towards the aisle, her feet could kind of go a little bit more this way, versus when I was by the window, I couldn't put her feet or her head I can't jam her head up towards the window more. Her feet still kicking the lady next to me. Thankfully, she was beyond nice. The flight that was the longest was my 2.5 hour one, and that was the one Taylor stayed up the whole entire flight. Thankfully, the lady next to me was so understanding. She was giggling at Taylor, talking to her. It's okay, baby, when she fussed. On our way home, The 2.5-hour back flight, Taylor slept like a freaking bear, okay? I got on the plane first. I had already changed her diaper and I had played with her. Our flight was delayed some, so I was already wearing her out. Every time she tried to go to sleep, I woke her up. I was messing with her. We were just walking through the airport. We went in the little mom nursing little room. I mean, we really got hours in being in that airport, and by the time before we even were in takeoff, I started to nurse her. I did my best to get her maneuvered on my breast without the people next to me. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to go into a whole spill about how it is to breastfeed in public, but I'm one of those moms, I don't care. My baby's going to eat where she needs to eat, when she needs to eat, okay? So if you don't like it, too bad, too sad for you. So I got her situated with nursing and she was out, okay? So situations are all different. I mean, I really hope you guys did find this video to be helpful with some of these tips. I mean, as far as being able to get through security, you know, by yourself, it's a little hard, but there are people who are going to want to help you, even the airport people. Another thing, I was in line at security and a lady saw me by myself and actually opened the little thing that, you know, you're going through the line, have the little belts thing. She actually opened it and told me to go in the express line. So there was another line for like like the handicap, wheelchairs and things like that. She actually, I don't know, just because I was like by myself, they didn't necessarily have a family line. I've heard of people saying, oh, you can go through the family line. I don't know where that exists at in my airports that I've been through. But yeah, she just let me go right through. So this line was literally down. I mean, it was long. So I got to skip the line a little bit, go through the express line. It definitely was like, yes, I can get situated a little quicker at the gate while I'm waiting for my plane. So it is possible. It is 100% possible to fly alone with the baby. I would have never guessed that in Taylor's first year of life, I would be on a plane by myself because I'm like, daddy, you're coming too. Like, we're packing the kids up. We're going together. But it's definitely like such an empowerment. You're like, oh, I got this. I 110% got this. I felt so accomplished. That might sound crazy to you guys. You might be like, girl, all you did was get on a plane with your baby. It was a whole adventure. It really was. We got in town so much later. Believe me, I still had to get to the rental car in the airport, get to the rental car. I know that's like real extra, but get there, then drive another 2.5 hours in town where I was actually going. So it was a whole ordeal with me and Taylor by ourselves till literally 4 a.m. almost a whole day and a half later. But moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, uncles and aunties, cousins, I'm here to tell you it is possible. And especially for you mommies out there by yourself that's like, I don't know that I can do it by myself just flying. You can. I'm telling you, you feel so good. Guys, I hope you found all these tips and a little of my story time helpful because these are things I was just wondering over and over. I'm calling the airport. I'm trying to Google certain things. Everything's a little different. Everyone's experiences are different. But if you don't remember anything, when you leave this video, other than the fact, Taylor's messing with the camera, other than the fact that the stroller and the car seat do go for free all the way up into the gate, bring those sanitized wipes, Clorox wipes, whatever you do, bring it. Bring that in a pacifier clip because the airports are so stinking dirty. I cannot tell you how many times I had to wipe off something. So other than that, guys, thanks for watching. And I really hope this video helped you parents out there. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe.